Hello, in today's video I show you how I put together my welcome fall sign. I started with these pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I took the bottom off, the raffia bow, and the pumpkin. I used a variety of paints. Some of the colors I mixed. Just any paints from your area craft store. I used a glue gun and E6000. I also included raffia and jute, both of which I got at Dollar Tree. And this sign is also from Dollar Tree. I used the stick on the back and I used the home portion of it. I started out by sanding the backs of my pumpkins where the stickers were. Some of the edges were pretty messy too, where the bottoms came off. And then I mixed a couple paints to get a nice leaf green color for this pumpkin. I didn't want all my pumpkins to be the same color. My husband likes the variety and so did my daughter, so I went with more traditional colors and included green and orange in my sign. I only used one coat of my paints. I kind of liked the way the brown showed through. Kind of made it a little more rustic. Once I had all my pumpkins painted, then I started using different colors like a cream color, off-white, some of the green, some orange, to just delineate where the indentations of the pumpkin would normally be, and just to add some color. I didn't want to be too neat, and it just brought out the nice shape. This is the fun part. I also added some brown, just an apple barrel brown paint that you could get at any craft store. And the brown really is what makes it take shape. The brown is definitely my favorite one to add. And you don't have to be able to paint. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I just threw the color on where I thought it would look good. If you don't like it, you can always paint over it. So I took the sign apart, and then this home piece, once I took the sticker off the back, I had to sand it really good. Where it came off the stick itself left kind of an indentation, but that's okay because this wasn't meant to be a perfect sign. It was meant to be a little bit rustic. Once I got the sanding done, then I just put a white chalk paint on it, and I again only used one coat because I wanted that brown color to kind of show through and look a little streaky. And this is the same brown paint that I had used to make the creases look deeper on the pumpkin, and I'm just distressing this just a little bit. And I got one of the packages of signs from Dollar Tree, which includes this little welcome sign. It was a little too silver for what I was doing, so I ran a couple little layers of this brown paint over it. The first coat doesn't take that well. The second coat takes a little bit better. And then I used these stencils. I found these stencils at Walmart. Unfortunately, they're not plastic, so you can't really wash them. You can wipe them off, and you can use them more than once, but they are a thick kind of construction paper, but they did the job for me. I just used a little paint at a time and held it on real tight. You will be able to reuse these. You just, like I said, you can't wash them. I wanted to use these though because they were the perfect size for these pumpkins. Once I had all my letters put on, I glued my welcome sign to the home sign that I had painted white. And the hot glue really didn't work great. I did end up using E6000. And before I glued my pumpkins together, I used just some hot glue and I wrapped the top stem area in jute. Then I took 3 or 4 pieces of raffia, about a foot long, just tied them in a simple knot in the middle, and then just made 2 bows. And made just messy little bows that I glued to the top by the stem for each pumpkin. And then that stick that held the home sign, I broke the other portions of it off and I cut the point off and I glued it to the back of the pumpkins. When I glued my pumpkins together, I used hot glue and I used E6000 because mine is going to be more of a permanent decoration. I don't want to take mine back apart. And I also glued the stick onto the back using the same 2 things. Now the front of this sign, I added Mod Podge. And it's the dishwasher safe Mod Podge because mine is going to be an alcove area by my front door, which it won't get a lot of rain hitting it. If it does rain, but if it does get moisture on it, I wanted it to have some kind of a barrier. So I covered the whole thing with 2 coats of dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And then I took my little drill, some needle nose pliers, and a ruler and a pencil. And then I had gotten this chain from Lowe's. Our Dollar Tree did not have those little bags of chains that some of them have. So I ended up buying some chain at Lowe's and just taking it apart with the needle nose and making the chain the lengths that I wanted. Once I drilled holes and attached them to the sign, this is what the finished product ended up looking like. And the nice thing is you can adjust the length if you want. Thanks for watching.